All right, so this deck. This is Bant Flash. We've played this archetype a few times on stream before. We have not, however, played this deck in the past with Wilderness Reclamation. This card is interesting in this deck. I don't know that we necessarily have the card advantage to leverage all the mana that this makes, but we're going to find out. Precog is definitely an interesting way to generate card advantage through the Wilderness Reclamation. So you like play this, and then you can tap out on 5, gas up, and then like have lots of flashy things to do with the cards you draw with this. A couple of people in chat mentioned Krasis. The full deck list is on your screen, as always. We have 4 copies of Krasis here on the sideboard. Krasis is a card that, even though it doesn't really look like it, this card does synergize with Wilderness Reclamation, especially in the mid-range and control decks, because this is a card where when you have Wilderness Reclamation in play, you can tap out for a giant Krasis, and then Wilderness Reclamation lets you cast the cards right away that you drew. So I think it's okay to leave these on the board. We definitely have a lot of clunk and top end in this deck, but I definitely think that we want this card in... We want this card in like the mid-range and control matchup, so let's hop in. Again, this is, like a lot of the decks that we play, this is a viewer-submitted deck list, so I have not put a ton of thought into here, just trying to highlight some of the things it looks like it's trying to do on the surface. Let's jump into some games and see how it goes. Thanks for not making me sit through any more games of Esper Control. I got you, fam. No, that is not correct because Krasis doesn't have instant. I have, like, Warrant Warden. I don't know, it's possible that it's better than Seal Away. Warrant Warden definitely was really impressive in the Bant deck we played the other night. Did I have to the stream title? I thought I clicked it. Stream title's good. Don't confuse me. Don't confuse me. Shocking twice here feels a little bit bad, but I think it's pretty important that I hit my land drop next turn, so I want to cast this up so I can hold up 4 mana for Frilled Mystic. Them not having a Curious Obsession here is A+. It's everything that we want. Ding, ding, ding. Do I enjoy the artistic aspect of Magic? Yeah, I really do. I like the modern direction that Magic art has taken. I'm not a huge fan, like a lot of the classic Magic art, I'm not a huge fan of, like iconic pieces like what's a good example? Like Force of Will or the original Moxen I'm not a huge fan of, but the modern direction that the art has taken I really kind of like. Move an Explosion to the sideboard and put in 1 Mirror March. I don't know what Mirror March does. I'm just going to go ahead and counter this, I think. Maybe, Dearest, we're playing the card deck list card for card. We're going to think about the cards we draw as we draw them in places they'd be. I don't know. Like, I guess Krasis would look better than Dream Eater here, huh? I'd be able to play it this turn as a 3/3. This curve sets us up really nicely here, because I get to Frilled Mystic this turn, which can't be Spell Pierce, and then next turn, I get to play a 5th land out, and then I can absorb with Spell Pierce not being able to counter it. The second Frilled Mystic here is quite good, though, too, because it means if they go to play a threat, I can just play my second Mystic and then have them on a 3-turn clock. Standard didn't exist when Moxen were legal, would have been legal. Hey, Top Toe, thanks for the tier 2 resub. Read. They can make this thing bigger next turn. You cannot bounce your own cards with Dream Eater. Adapt me, baby. Surveil 4 is so much Surveil, chat. Also, 3-2 plus 4-3. That's a 2-turn clock here, which is great for us. Come seal away. Come seal away. Come seal... Oh, that's... Oh, I don't... Which one do I want all of them, but which one do I want the most? I think it's Angel of Grace. I think it's Angel of Grace. Not surprised to see Dive down there. So this can become a 5-5 on defense, so we're just going to go ahead and pass this turn. And then next turn, if they don't give us something to Frilled Mystic, we'll flash an Angel's Grace and attack for lethal potentially. Sorry, Marion. I'm not responding to every sub notification because a lot of them are messed up. For people that are sending notifications, Twitch is letting a bunch of people send notifications that have already sent them because they changed their system today. Sounds good, AK, will do. You see, I'm really not a fan of the original Force of Will. I think it's kinda ugly. Is it a Graces matchup? I feel like this is a Graces matchup, just because, like, it blocks. I just want, like, all blockers on deck. I really like the new Force of Will. I feel like I probably want to trim this, because it's a 5-mana card that gets Spell Pierced. We did, Mage Cub. Through a flurry of sub-gifts and others, we jumped up a bunch. Yeah, the Judge Force is my favorite too. Thank you, Kuritin. This is a matchup where I want all these Wilderness Reclamations. I'm not sure that I do. Well, Wilderness is still, like, pretty good with Hydrate Graces, but yeah, maybe it's just, like, not good enough. I feel like this is the type of matchup where we could just, like, be a tap-out control deck is probably not unreasonable. Let's give this a try. Well, Dream Eater's a blocker that trades with their Drakes and doesn't get Spell Pierced. Think of Dream Eater as a Surveil 4 removal spell that can't be Spell Pierced. And, like, Fogs against Dive Down still. This hand needs white mana, but I'm hard pressed to pass up, like, 3 lands Growth Spiral. Deck felt really good against everything I played except Mono Red, which was still competitive. Yeah, I agree. I think the Pirates deck's a lot of fun. I agree with you that the red matchup is hard, but not unwinnable. Four-color Gates is the new red-white land destruction that gets played every day. It really is, isn't it? All right, so hopefully we find a second white source so we can jam the Settle the Wreckage down their throat. If we manage to curve Settle Angel Dream Eater, we're gonna have a real good time. If we brick here on white, we're gonna be in trouble. But I knew that kind of going in. All right, I think I just play a nice little Grizzly Crisis out here. Can trip in. All right, it's castable next turn. Look at how big and scary this streak is. No attacks on either side here. I think blue-green infect is better, but I definitely don't have a good basis to know that for sure. Donating my sub gifts a few days ago to Mardu Land Destruction got played, Dauber. It's on YouTube. Hey, thanks for the 6 months, White Pumpkins. Yeah, I've heard the more explosive, less consistent argument, but like honestly, don't you want to be explosive with Infect? Like that's the reason to play it, right? Well, I mean, as far as, like, things we can draw that aren't lands go, more Frilled Mystic is kind of towards the top, right? Unless they draw and stick Niv Mizzet, we're in a pretty reasonable spot at the moment. How am I doing? I'm doing Spellstorm Breath. Oh, I think I'm actually discarding the Teferi here. It's pretty likely they have a Spell Pierce, and I have no desire to, like, tap out to jam a Teferi into a Spell Pierce. I mean, they're flooding at least, and, like, Screw generally beats Flood, but would be nice to hit a 5th land at some point here. 3-pair Dream Eater Kicker, let's go. This is unfortunate, because it lets Enigma Drake gain power and start attacking us. Why does Screw beat Flood? Because generally speaking, having some amount of... Because when you stop being screwed, you have a handful of spells, basically. Yeah, Twitch is changing their sub-counting system today, Immortal. So everyone's getting to re-notify. This thing's gonna be a 5-5 soon, which is a little worrisome. The fact that this is a 5-4 that could trade with that is pretty reasonable, though. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a hit for 2 here, and then at end of turn, I'm going to Seal Away. The reason why I'm sequencing in this manner is because this way, if my opponent has another sorcery speed threat, like a Drake or something, I can go ahead and Frilled Mystic it. In fact, I'm gonna Frilled Mystic that. This is their 3rd spell in there. Which means this costs 5 to pump up currently, so they can't pump it just yet. I'd like to really draw a white source so I can Seal Away with Absorb up. So they have Dive Down plus Spell Pierce. We could get in trouble here, but I'm still not dead on board even if that happens, and they're dead on the backswing, so they need to leave some blockers up. So there's the Dive Down. Do they have a Negate or Spell Pierce as well here is the question. Looks like they do. And then, ideally, they're not going to have waste interact with these Angel of Grace, so long as they don't kill us next turn, we should be able to win the race on the back of Angel of Grace triggers. I haven't been adding mods today. Houghton's just been kind of a hot mess. This could kill us. They need to put... The Drake needs to get up to 9 power here, so if they bin 2 instants and sorceries here, we could maybe die. They can get the Drake to 9 power, that will die. Maybe I should have left the Crisis back to be conservative. I stopped playing the Esper deck after 2 matches, Bob. It was just miserable trying to play a deck without win conditions. It's just like last season, right? We played a couple of control decks without win cons last season. Every time I was just like, put win cons in your deck. Put win cons in your deck. Yep. Yeah, I should have been conservative and left Crisis back. Or maybe I should have... Yeah, I punted this. Good game, opponent. We were... Hey, it's me, Barton. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. B-Mech, thanks for the 17 months. Yeah, I definitely got a little bit too aggressive there at the end. We were mana screwed for a little while, but I definitely didn't use my resources to the best of my ability there. Well, during their upkeep, their creature would be untapped, which means Seal Away is not particularly good at that point. But I could have potentially waited for them to attack with it and then sealed away at that point. Yeah, I think so, Jacob. I think I'm supposed to let them attack, because if I let them attack, they very likely don't use their cantrips aggressively like they did there. You should go for the Shocklands first. The Shocklands will stay legal longer, so the Shocklands don't rotate until October 2020, whereas the Checklands are going to rotate October 2019. So you'll get more game time out of the Shocklands. More playtime. No Terramander here is absurd for us, because it means I can absorb their first threat and then have, like, Teferi/Angel afterwards. I do what I can. Hey, the Reverend Dave. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome. I really hope we get Temples back at some point. I think it's kind of criminal that they haven't reprinted Temples yet. So I chose not to play Teferi there, because I really don't want to run him into a Spell Pierce if I can avoid it. And I already have land number 6 in my hand, and Dream Eater is 6. Absorb is much, much better than any of the other 3 mana counters if you can cast it. The fact that, like, this is a counterspell, it's basically a 2-for-1 in the aggro matchup, the place where your counterspells are at their worst, is very powerful. Pythrion, I would encourage you to look at every other white aggro deck and see that they don't play 22 lands. So the Steam Vent in any other build of white-red aggro would be a spell. So the Steam Vent just think of it if it was a spell, basically. Honestly, I think I just Dream Eater here to, like, put a fast clock into play. Try and Surveil into my 7th land for this Teferi. So if they have a negate or a disdainful stroke, like they're obviously going to get to counter the Teferi, but if they had a disdainful stroke, they probably would have countered this. I wouldn't be too surprised to see this get negated. Yeah, that's really not that big of a deal. I get to attack for 9 here, and then next turn if they play a threat, I can Dream Eater and try and bounce it. I would encourage you to read this Mana Math article from Frank Karsten talking about the number of sources that you need for your spells. So like, sitting here and talking about my feelings isn't really meaningful, but this will give you numbers that show you how statistically likely we are to play a spell at any given point. So if they don't have a removal spell or a dive down, we'll be in a good spot here. Oh. All right, so they're dead. And this is one of the reasons, like, this is such a stark contrast to, like, the Esper deck we just played, right? Like, this deck is very controlling and has a lot of interaction in it, but it has threats that can actually end the game, which is just everything I want to be doing in my interactive deck in Magic. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you're someone who enjoys standard best of 3 on Magic Arena, this is definitely the stream for you. We play a ton of different decks here. I usually change decks every 60 to 90 minutes or so. As always, a shout out to all of my wonderful subscribers, especially the subs that gifted an absurd number of sub points today, pushing us up over 4K. I wouldn't be here without all of y'all, all the ones that keep me employed, so thanks for keeping me here day in and day out. Past my subs, I'd like to shout out some of my wonderful sponsors here real quick. Harry's Razors would love to help you get that close, clean shave using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/shave. You can save $5 on your brand new shaving starter kit with them. Remember, chat, just because you have a nice beard doesn't mean you need to have a neck beard. Hurly Burly Studio does professional Magic the Gathering altars at hurlyburlystudio.com. You can find a wonderful portfolio of border extensions and full art replacements, and using code Jeff10 you can save 10% on all of your wonderful card alteration orders with them. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your cards into other cards direct with other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And of course, InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork that they have on their website. Yeah, that first match with this build felt really trim. We played Jonathan Hobbs' build of Bant Flash from the second place Open at Indy, and having a lot of bottom end of that deck felt kind of clunky, and this build feels pretty reasonable. We haven't gotten to try a copy of Wilderness Reclamation yet, though, which is one of the things we're looking to see. Might want to look into adding a 26th land. Oh, are we only on 25? Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of 26 lands in general. Which control deck do you think is doing all the right things in the current meta? My favorite control deck in the current format, like dedicated control as opposed to a more tempo deck like this one, is definitely Jeskai control. And you can find my preferred build of that on my website. Hey, thanks, Bobby. I appreciate that. And thank you for the tier 2 at that. Be sure to drop me a message. Let me know what deck you'd like to bump up in the queue. I wonder if I'm supposed to play my land before I do that, because I think they're more likely to Spell Pierce if I don't play a land first. Is Gates a control deck? Yeah, Gates is like a ramp / control deck. So really looking forward to hitting a land tier so we can play Wilderness Reclamation. Yeah, just 10 out of 10. We keep having major mana issues. I think not having 26 in here is a pretty big mistake. Why are the masses down on Jeskai? We don't have... So here's the thing you need to understand. I understand that Jeskai hasn't put up any results at the first couple of tournaments, but we genuinely don't know if that's because it's being played and doing poorly or if it's because no one's showing up with it. It's hard to make reasonable estimates. It's impossible to make reasonable estimates off incomplete data. I think there's a very reasonable chance that more people are playing Esper than are playing Jeskai. This is a tier 1.5 deck. I don't know. I really hate making up arbitrary numbers to fit some kind of need that people have to like have their decks validated by giving them a metric. What does tier 1.5 mean? And what you say what tier 1.5 means, someone else is going to tell me means something else. Like, when we don't have a bunch of objective data, it's hard to be like, yes, we should do this. This means this, or vice versa. Can I say it's tier fun? I'm enjoying playing it. I'm having a good time. Fish tier. All of my metrics indicate it is approximately tier 6.23. Yikes. 5 lands, no double white. Let's take a mulligan here. Tier 1.337. Love it. Looking for another blue source here, but definitely gonna keep a seal away. A little bit of interaction. Yeah, the first Mythic Championship, so historically speaking, we get pretty complete data from the Mythic Championships, formerly Pro Tours, for those of you that are older players. And if they give us starting distributions for the standard Pro Tour, then we can draw somewhat reasonable conclusions. The fact that it's mixed with limited muddles it a little bit, but like, we'll be able to see like, well, 30 people are playing Jeskai to start and none of them day 2, that means it's bad. Whereas like, nobody was playing Jeskai, nobody day 2, like that makes sense, etc. This is work done. I'm just gonna be aggressive with this Frilled Mystic here, because I want to start attacking them. Yeah, we gave up on Esper Control really quickly. Someone submitted an Esper Control deck with just Karn as the win condition, and it was real miserable. Yeah, I permanently leave my blue-white filter on. Never not on. That's true. That's true. We played a 30-minute game 1, and then slowly, eventually, like, the hope drained out of our soul. What was the Flux software? Was the Flux? I've never used Flux. Some other people have recommended Flux. What's your opinion on the claims that Nexus of Fate decks are toxic and create negative gameplay and should be banned? Wah! Nexus of Fate is mean and should be banned. Wah! I hate losing to basic mountains. The game's too fast. It should be banned. Wah! Teferi always beats me. It should be banned. Wah! Crisis goes in every mid-range deck. Please ban it. Did I miss any? Like, what are the other cards people complain about? Do you know how you know nothing needs to be banned? Because everything needs to be banned. They can't make up their mind. The format is great. There are a ton of powerful things to be doing. Stop trying to ban things and accept that people like different strategies than you, and you don't have to enjoy playing against everything. I'm really looking forward to, like, hopefully with play design working, standard just stays really good for a while, and like 2 or 3 years from now, we haven't had a standard ban in years. Like, we just came off this really bad moment in Magic standard history where we had like a record number of bans. But before the bans around Kaladesh, Magic did not ban cards regularly. It was incredibly rare for Magic to have to ban cards. And like, the fact that like we had this stretch where we had to ban a lot, where we banned a lot of stuff because there were a lot of mistakes made design-wise, like became this crutch where players just like expected every problem to be banned away. Should film the kiddos' reactions to Pink Hair? Yeah, probably. Getting to Ixalan's Binding here is pretty good. If we can dodge Niv Mizzet, we can dodge a ball and probably win this game. I think I'd put us ahead if our opponent doesn't have Niv Mizzet soon. especially with this Angel of Grace and Frilled Mystic in my hand. That's a pretty good one. Dream Eater could actually allow us to tempo an Izzet potentially if we hit it. Ban everything until I start winning. I didn't play the old standard formats. I genuinely don't know if the bans they did in the old standard formats were good calls or bad, because I just wasn't playing then. The gameplay patterns were kind of miserable when I did try it. I just really didn't get into those formats. Hopefully we draw an untapped land here and get to play Hydrate Crisis for 4. That would be ideal. This card is so good. Believe it or not, adding one of the best cards in Standard to our deck seems to have made it better. Is Temur Climb a deck? Yeah, actually. I actually tweeted a Temur Climb list yesterday. Ooh. 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 Mmm. Mmm. Nom 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 nom. Mmm. Nom 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 nom. Yoink! I'll take that back, please. That one. Come back to Papa. Thank you. Come again. Y'all come back now, you hear? If they kill this and have an answer to this, we could be in trouble here. I would love to block. You have a dive down? Alright, so am I supposed to just jam Crisis? I'm like super dead if they have another Entrancing Melody, but I'm probably dead to Melody regardless, right? I guess I could flash in Angel and trade with Enigma Drake. Yeah, Mythic Championships replace the Pro Tour. Well, I mean, if they have a Disdainful Stroke, I'm just dead, so it doesn't matter. Like, don't play around things you can't beat. That's true. If I play the Crisis, the heal 3 is pretty good. Yeah, let's just do this. Ooh. No strokes, real good for us. Come on. Come on. We have another dive down? Hey, Miles Houseman, sorry. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I'm supposed to be conservative here. I think I'm just supposed to pass. I think I'm supposed to pass, and then if they offer this trade, I take it. And if they don't offer it and they just pass, I end step Dream Eater, bounce their thing. The bus driver with the 5 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me here. Man, you know what's actually kind of scary? I do this for X's 8. If they have another Entrancing Melody, they could actually take my Crisis and then maximize velocity to hit me right away. Watched a lot of your YouTube vids. I hadn't realized I had 2 months already. Ancient Archdemon, thank you for re-upping for the second month. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, ditch that one. Interesting that we didn't maximize velocity there. Well, this is a fantastic draw. Huh. Yeah, I realized I died to a Drake, but I need to just kill them as well. Am I passing here? I think I'm passing. I'm gonna end step Dream Eater, and then I can untap and kill them. They might just trade here. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Hey, Thomp, thanks for the 10 months. No, generally speaking, you should just play aggro. The Surveil on this card is just so deep. You're just like, you just see so many cards. You can always see the decks that we're going to be playing listed in the stream title. So we're going to be playing 4-color gates. We're going to be playing another hour or so with this deck, and then we're going to play some 4-color gates. Well, if we keep a good audience, we've been floating at almost 3K all day. If we keep a good audience, I might throw an aggro deck at the end. There's red-black goblins is towards the top of the queue. That looks kind of sweet. All right, I want to leave 6 mana up here so I can go Frilled Mystic plus Seal Away. I'm going to go ahead and play this for 4. Yeah, Gates. Someone said it earlier. Gates is the land destruction deck of the season. Just like super popular. Well, I didn't do it for 5 because I wanted to leave up 2. I wanted to leave up 2 things. Niv Mizzet kind of puts a kink in our plans. Is there a Bant non-Nexus deck worth crafting? Yeah, we played a bunch of awesome Bant decks that aren't Nexus decks. Check out my YouTube page for sure. They have like an op tier that could kill Dream Eater. Want to buy 1 expand stack button. All right, we are ahead, but by no means guaranteed to win here. I suppose with this attack, if my opponent has Drake plus protection, I die here. So maybe that's a reason to be conservative. I felt like I was a little bit too conservative this game, and I should have jammed Crisis earlier. You can play on OS X now using Wine. I'm actually streaming from a Linux computer using Wine. Works very well. They were negating my Crushing Canopy amazing chest. Opponent completing those play X cards quests. God bless. God bless. All right, well, we beat up Drakes twice. See if we can get a little variety in our matchup here today. I think I keep this with the opt. Like, obviously it needs another blue source, but we're on the draw. We've got like a sweeper for aggro, counterspell for control. Does wine make it better for gameplay? No, it runs the same as Windows. Yeah, we hit the sub goal. Yeah, we hit the sub goal. We're gonna get some new emotes and some pink hair up in here. Up in here. Up in here. Yeah, if the numbers stay up, Judith Goblins will get played today. That's the aggro deck towards the top of the queue. Yikes! We just, like, never, ever beat the... There aren't any baffling ends in this deck, are there? This matchup's basically impossible without baffling end. Maybe they attack with it next turn. Maybe they attack with it. If they play tight and don't attack into a Settle ever, we're gonna be in trouble though. God bless you, frisky little goblin. Well, if their hand's real bad, we do have a chance, especially with double Angel of Grace. Countering Phoenix was like gaining 6 basically. I gained 3 from the absorb going off, and I gained 3 from it not coming into play till next turn. I think I just passed. I think I want to just get these angels down ASAP so I can race them. This is not a game we win by it going long by any means. Maybe I'm supposed to counter that one. If we don't win this game, I'm conceding the match, because this game went, like, about as well as it can go for us. It's not going well. So the Phoenix is going to attack. We'll get to eat it with Angel of Grace. Yep. So this gains 1 at this point. I don't know, Dauber. Maybe. Hey, old boy Merlin, thanks for the 4 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. All right, so down to 5. And then we should be good to go here, right? Like I said, this is, if there was ever a game we can win here, this is what it looks like, right? Yeah, Angel would have won the game, but they could have just passed, like, they could have drawn something that killed us on our turn. There's no reason to upkeep the chat. If they draw Lightning Strike and I upkeep the Angel, I lose the game. Or like this, right? So this is why I didn't upkeep the Angel. Streamer smart, streamer smart. They're already, if they weren't already dead on board, I'd probably get aggressive there. But the fact that they were dead on board already means there's no reason for me to, I don't think. I think this is a matchup where I basically just board into mostly a tap out deck. Yep. No, it was a good question. It was a good question. And because they're not dead, because they're already dead on board, there's no reason to play out the other angel, basically. Like, the only thing that punishes for not playing out the other angel is they have a removal spell for it, and they don't have any instant speed removal spells for the angel in their deck. 8 months, pink hair, don't care. What's going on, 9ball? Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Yeah, the Wilderness so 2 things. 1, so far this build seems sweet. 2, Wilderness Reclamation has not been good in the matchups we played so far, but I think this card is probably good against, like, Control and Sultai, which we haven't played against yet. Unsurprisingly, Hydroid Crisis has been excellent here. Hey, 9ball, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I'm boarding out Settle. They do have Phoenix, but, like, I have other ways to exile, right? Like, I have Seal Away, and I'm bringing in extra copies of Excellence Binding as well. I'm gonna keep this. Angel's one of our best cards in this matchup, but it's not close. You just, like, need a way to end the game. Twitch reset their sub-counting system, so people are resending notifications. Oh, Electrostatic Field. Why are you so scary? Why are you so scary, little field? Second angel is excellent. It's exactly what we're looking for. Just need a 5th land here and 2 draws. Yikes. Yikes. Look at that incredibly castable magic card. That's a card we could definitely put onto the stack. Oh, they left in Tormenting Voice against us, and our mana's not letting them punish them? Brutal. I do at least have Seal Away here. Come seal away, come seal away, come seal away with me. This Banefire is currently good for 4 points. All right, onward, upward, backward, forward. To the next one. Ship it. I got too much Magic to play to check out other games at the moment. I don't know. I'm giving the Ops a chance. So it's worth noting too, like, in these games where I've been missing land drops, I, like, haven't drawn Opt, and, like, Opt is what I'd cut for a land. Like, I'd still be screwed. Seems like okay. With the second Squid Papa drawn, I'm probably gonna Spiral and then, like, play a 2/2 next turn. The Mono Red Phoenix deck was on the winning team. The person playing it did not lose a match throughout the entire tournament. I think I leave up Quench this turn. It's a shame I didn't have it last turn, though. I paid 2 life because I cast stopped. It's on the SCG site, Mulv. Oh, the second place team. It was the second place team, right? It was definitely the second place team. I guess since I drew Angel, I'm going to hold on to that. Yep. We're dead. Opponent played that really well, just like never attacking. I think that, like I said when we started, I think that matchup's basically impossible for this deck. I think we got pretty fortunate to win the first game the way we had double Angel. I think if you wanted to make that matchup better, you would want to put like 3 to 4 Baffling End in the sideboard or in the main deck, but with just Seal Away, if your opponent like plays well like our opponent did there, you're just never going to beat them. Hey, Maxon, thank you for the tier 3 sub. I really appreciate that. And thanks for the donation to push this one into today. Hope you're having a good Monday and had a good weekend. I think it's pretty good. Three different Bant duels. We did clear the goal, Orinal. I suppose I should dream bigger next time. I also just wanted to like set the goal that was realistic so I could like have it for the phone call tomorrow. Bottom that, I already have 5 lands. Jeskai control. Alright, I think this matchup is decent for us on average. Although our hand isn't particularly good here. I think because I have my 8th land lined up here already, I'm not even supposed to play this. And like this is like the first time would have drawn Wilderness Reclamation. And like this is like a really good example of why it seems like a mediocre card in this deck, especially game 1. Like, I don't have anything to do with the extra mana this card is giving me, right? Like, I have it, it's here, it's gonna untap my lands, but I'm like, what do I do with my lands? Hey, Mr. Pyre, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. Oh gosh, we have a frequently used emote section now. Nifty. I would love to Frilled Mystic that. Twitch redid a bunch of stuff. Change is scary, chat. Nifty, thanks for the 2/3. Yeah, that's something that's been going on for a while, Steve. The Rosewater Stone. Teferi's pretty reasonable. We've played Teferi and builds a Bant Flash before. This is our first time playing with Reclamation, though. Krasis, we have 4 Krasis in the sideboard, and we've actually just boarded them in every matchup. I feel like the Krasis should probably just be in the main deck. Yeah, Ark's good in Wilderness decks, but it's not really good in Frilled Mystic decks. Hey, Govern, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. This Precog's not even that good, right? I like they have to discard a bunch of cards. The old triple bottom, then discard 2 cards. Well, that's not stellar. The Boros Land Destruction deck is not particularly good anymore. There's too many, between Riot and Afterlife and Mortify, there's just too many things that give it a hard time. Ginger Wookie, thanks for the Twitch Prime. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. What on God's green earth am I supposed to cut here? Quench is a little middling. I feel like I can't cut Opt with my low land count. Am I supposed to cut threats? Yeah, Angel... They redid everything Urkdower, so everybody's getting to re-announce today. Is it just Angelic Grace? I guess just a 5/4 Flying Flash isn't super impressive. I feel like I need Crushing Canopy in the event that they have Niv Mizzet. It also kills Search for Azcant in a pinch, which is nice. I'm definitely not cutting the draw 3 against the control deck. I'll trim 2 Ops, I guess. Confused Radish, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Hope you have a good one wherever you're at. Welcome, welcome. If Reclamation isn't playable here, it's not playable anywhere. So I want to leave all the Reclamations in to see how they feel with Graces. And like, this is the one Opt I left in my deck, so I just like to like think for a second about what if this was just a land, right? Like, this Opt is looking for a land this game, so like, if it was just a land, I'd probably be happier, right? I don't know how dyeing hair works. I'm gonna have to look it up after today. Believe it or not, I've never dyed my hair. So whatever the proper way to go about it is, we'll be doing that. What do you think about a Primal Amulet deck with Wilderness and Cantrips? I don't know. Why is that better than playing Temur with, like, Expansion Explosion? The sub goal today was for pink hair. Do I just, and like this is why like this is awkward, right? Like all right, that worked. Never mind. It wasn't awkward, it's perfect. They had no negate, they had no disdainful stroke. So like here's the thing. I agree that that Angel isn't bad against control, but like it isn't necessarily strictly good against control. Like it's not better than the other cards that we have, right? So like what card that's currently in my 60, if you want to argue Angel should be in my deck right now, would you say is better than Angel? How greedy is it to bottom all of these? I'm like pretty likely to draw a land in 4 cards, right? I'll keep one. Let's be conservative. See, I shouldn't have kept it. Should have bottomed all 3 of them. What's going on, Lapis? This does feel good, right? Like this is the best case scenario for Wilderness Reclamation. Absolute best case scenario. We have like played it on 4, got to play a Frilled Mystic, got to untap and have precog into more stuff. Like this is the best this card gets. And believe it or not, we're running away with the game. Dunk. Like, again, like, it might be that this card isn't good here, but if this card's not good here, it just shouldn't be in my deck. Which, I would believe that that's a possibility. That just shouldn't be in the deck. But, like, that was like, absolute best case scenario, right? Like, we had Wilderness Reclamation into a bunch of gas. Able to use our mana on our turn and theirs for several turns in a row. Krasis has a converted mana cost that includes X while it is on the stack, but while Krasis is in play, it costs 2. How much longer till 4 color gates? Probably 1 more match after this one with Bant Flash. I'm feeling better. Man, it's amazing how much higher my energy is when we're not playing a Visceral deck. So let's do Judith Goblins today too. When we were playing Esper, I thought I was going to be done soon, but I like this deck. I like Gates. We'll play Goblins after Gates. Hey, J-Dub, thanks for the 6 months. This seems like doesn't have an answer to like a turn 2 Search for Escanta, but like pretty reasonable otherwise. Genesis! Thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. So, and like this is the awkward spot, right? Like if they just pass here, which they did not, all right. Well, now this is great because they tapped out. If I was gonna say if they pass, I don't really want to play this, right? Yikes. This war boss is gonna kill us real fast. Wondering Murloc, thank you very much for the brand new Prime Sport. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. this is a good example of Wilderness Reclamation being like, what are we doing with our lives, right? Like, again, imagine Wilderness Reclamation was just like a card that had a text box this game instead of like what it did there, which was stone cold nothing. Yikes. Just like any card that impacted the board here.
We need to move quickly.
Do they not have a way to take my graces off the table? That would be good for me. Need to draw another live one here. Gobble gobble. You have a shock in your deck? Kinda, yep. Spell with the text box, please. Spell with the text box, please. I hate that I love Arena more than Modern. Oh, white gold, you and me both. It's just so good. It's just so good. So the crass eye have been very good. I'm not certain that I believe these Wilderness Reclamation are good. Let's play one more match before we move on to 4 color gates here. If red got Price of Progress, someone take that person out back and take care of them, please. Ain't nobody want to play against red with Price of Progress. This is incredibly awkward. I can't have Absorb up on 3 because I don't have a way to put an untapped land into play. Turn 4 Settle will be pretty good against the mono white deck though. Izzet Drakes plays Entrancing Melody in the sideboard to take Crisis and Adonto Vanguard. Think of Entrancing Melody as a removal spell that also gives you a threat. It's very, very flexible. I'm gonna shock this in so I can absorb a History of Benelia here. Any other 3-drop I'll probably just let happen so I can Settle the Wreckage them. Yep. Alright. There is not. You can find the deck list on your screen by typing !deck in chat or by clicking on the deck list widget on your screen. Stupid mono white players and their stupid good play. Why you have to play around the card I'm telegraphing, opponent? Why can't you just attack with all? Silly players and their good lines. I mean, what's it called is basically a better Threads. The card we talked about. I don't know why this popped up. Equinox Twitch redid their subsystem today, so everybody's getting to repost under the new system. I think we might be dead, chat. It's my Teferi and I want it back, opponent. Why you have to be so mean? Why you have to be so mean? Hey, Dead Zers, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for dropping in. So, if they choose not to attack into Settle the Wreckage, I get to get them with Frilled Mystic here, which is nice. Good guy OP, not ghosting. God bless, God bless. Maybe they'll play a spell pre-combat and I can absorb to not die. What do you think about replacing 2 negates with Cinder Vines? What do you think about replacing 2 negates with Cinder Vines and 4 corollary gates with 1 negate and an Excess of Fate? Negates mess up value in your summons. No, I like having some negates. I think you want negates and Cinder Vines in that deck. Hey, what's going on, Rolk? Welcome back. Oh, I'm still dead, right? Yeah, opponent played this really well. I'm just cutting these Wilderness Reclamations. They're bad. I'm just gonna put these Gracises in. Oh, did I miss the donation? I finally figured out why I keep saying yikes so much. It's all your fault. Thanks for the great stream, longtime lurker. Thank you for the support, Snowball of Doom. Sorry I missed it. I'm super out of sorts today. I've slept like 9 hours total in the last 2 nights. There's been extra pop-ups in chat because of the spam from Twitch reorganizing their system and all this other jazz. So, sorry about that. Thank you for the support. Yeah, I agree. I think my assessment that this deck just doesn't have the ability to generate card advantage to use its mana on 2 turns is accurate. Ghosting refers to when you are streaming and your opponent watches your stream while they are playing. Also referred to as stream sniping in some vernaculars. Ghosting and stream sniping are synonymous. Nothing to see here. Don't have a 4-mana spell, just incredibly unlucky and clicked the wrong button. Yeah, the build of Flash that we've played in the past has a Cleansing Nova in the sideboard that I've been kind of happy with. Afternoon Vial. You have to oops to sell it. So now I've sent the powerful message, maybe I don't have it. When in reality, we do. Yeah, now they're gonna attack with 3 things, so I'll get an extra friend with the Settle the Wreckage here. Using my health total is a bit of a resource here since they don't have reach in their deck like Lightning Strike or stuff like that. They do have blue cards though, so this is probably about to get Spell Pierced or negated. Vomit. Ugh. Ugh. Even in this deck where like we have so many other, hey, what's going on, No Spoon? Or we have so many instant speed cards, Settle the Wreckage is just so incredibly telegraphed. It's brutal. All right, so like now I've got Settle the Wreckage into an Angel to block something, so like maybe I've got a chance. Attack is good for me. They do have a Danto First Fort back here, pumping out additional pressure as well. And as long as the Beneficial Marshal's in play, it's going to be making 2/2s, which is scary. I'm not a fan of this build. I think this build feels like the worst build of Flash that I've played. If I had to pick between this and the build that Hobbs played and the builds that we've worked on, I think this one is probably my least favorite. Tempo Eater their land? I don't think so. This is a good attack for us. This was, I can't beat another Settle the Wreckage attack, which also means they probably can't beat this Angel, so I block here and I go to 1. Reclamation is incredibly clunky. It's the one card that's been a little awkward for us. Do I just gain 2 here and go to 3? I think so. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Not having to worry about heroic reinforcements out of the opponent has felt really good. That card is terrifying. Now we probably have this game locked up, right? Yeah, we do. All right. I really like the Bant hero deck we played the other day. That's probably the best Bant deck I've played so far. It's not explicitly a Flash deck like this, but gosh, is it good. I'm about to get negated, aren't I? I'm about to get negated. Ah, Hogland! Ah, why'd you wave? Why'd you wave? As soon as I dragged it out, I knew what was coming. I knew what was happening. Should have played the Angel. They both lost to Disdainful Stroke, but Settle lost to negate. Yeah, as far as Bant decks are concerned, as far as like strict Flash decks go, I wasn't a huge fan of this build. Wilderness Reclamation was like as mediocre as I was expecting it to be. Krasis just continues to be absurd and everything. I think if I wanted to play a Bant mid-rangey deck with Krasis though, if you didn't see the Bant hero deck we played on Saturday night, it was really awesome. It's definitely worth watching. You can find that one on the favorites video section on my website as well as my YouTube channel. We're going to move right along to the next deck here today. We got some more 4-color gates, which has definitely been